Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I am Grace. I'm so glad you clicked on my video today. So I kind of want to talk about, since I've been on like a Dance Academy binge. If you don't know what Dance Academy is, it's an Australian show for teens and kids, and well, this kind of brought me it kind of took me back to college because that show really like kind of helped me through like rough days, if you know what I mean. Like, shows that are just like inspiring and awesome. um so anyway, I've been binge watching this, and I'm actually watching it right now because, well, it's what I do on my days off. Anyway, I kind of wanted to talk about, well, not really talk. I kind of wanted to give like an open letter to dancers, who are really questioning themselves right now. If you don't know, I danced all through middle school, high school, from the age of, I want to say, 10 all the way until college. That was my major, was a dance major. Right now I'm teaching dance and I'm trying to get a company off the ground. And unfortunately that takes a lot of money and that takes a lot of time. And it's yeah, it's kind of hard. So anyway, I wanted to kind of give my like open letter to dancers, for anybody who's looking for advice and who's really just doubting themselves. And believe me, I know the feeling, I know the days, I know. Well, first things first, your worst enemy is you. Stop doubting yourself. That is the number one piece of advice that I could ever give, is to stop doubting yourself. And really, this works for anyone. If you're in sports, if you're an artist, if you are working your tail off and you don't see any payoff immediately, stop doubting yourself. It takes time, okay? It does. The worst enemy is you. Really, it is. I know that's like very cliche, but nobody is out there to sabotage you, except for, okay, I don't want to say nobody, because I know there are a few people out there who would sabotage you if you're the best and they want your spot, or they want your place, or they want your role, or whatever. But really, you have got to just stop doubting yourself. Your worst enemy is you. Get out of your head. All those voices in your head that are so negative and telling you you can't do this, you're not good enough, really, just shut them down. Shut them down right now. You have to put a positive spin, and I know it's really, really hard. Believe me, I know it's very hard to stop doubting yourself. And me saying this is probably the most hypocritical thing that I could do, because that's all that I did all throughout 4 years of college and high school, and every time I stepped on that stage. But really, the voices in your head are going to stop you. They're going to stop you from succeeding. They're going to stop you from taking chances. And that is another piece of advice. Please take chances. If you think something feels good in your body, let's say there's piece of movement, your turns are feeling great. If you think that something is working for you, try it out. Take it to the next extent. Really, don't just pigeonhole yourself to one thing. If you're a turner, start stretching. Start stretching in your turns. Start doing leg catch turns. Start doing heel stretch turns. Start doing arabesque turns. Really, just try something new. If you're a stretcher, you better start turning. If you can already do a split and you can touch your head to your toes, you can lay your head onto your I was going to say ankles. If you can lay your head onto your knee, that's all fine and dandy. But if you are only doing stretching, how are your turns ever going to get better? You have to make sure that you also practice the things that you are bad at. You can't just keep practicing the things that you're good at, or else that's all you're ever going to be good at. That's one of the best pieces of advice is, why do you always see good turners turning? Why do you always see people who have their extension stretching? Stop practicing the things that you are good at. Practice the things you are bad at. Really, it doesn't make sense to keep practicing turns if you're already a good turner. It doesn't make sense to practice stretching when your leg is already in a tilt and you can't go any further. Start practicing the things that you're bad at. Also, you want to make sure that you don't just practice all of your tricks. You want to practice your basics. You want to make sure that you have your plie as far as it can go. You want to make sure you keep turning out your heels. You keep turning out your hips. Your heels are off of the ground in your releve, especially when you're turning. If you're turning and your heel is on the ground and it's still skimming, you want to make sure that you are on the highest releve. You want to make sure that you're practicing all of your basic technique skills, because really what's going to get you through an audition, what's going to get you through classes, what's going to get you through to being on stage. Technique is the difference between a soloist and just corps de ballet. Or even if it's just background chorus work, or you're front and center as a soloist. If you don't know, soloist is one of the highest positions as a dancer you can get to, whether it's in ballet, whether you're in ballet or jazz, a soloist is one of the highest. Then of course there's principal dancers, and then there's demi-soloists, which is obviously below soloists. There's all different types of positions as a dancer, but really technique is only going to get you to where you want to be. So if you want to be the top, you want your solos, you want to make sure that you are front and center every single time, you have to make sure you are practicing your technique. I cannot stress that enough, and that's me as a dance teacher saying that. Okay. Also, this is one of the biggest advices that I can give you if you are trying to make it as a dancer. And I am, sadly, this was one of my biggest downfalls. You want to make sure that even though you are working so hard, you're working out, you're dancing, all that cardio from dance, pushing off the ground. Boys, if you are lifting your partner as a girl, don't give in to cravings. Put the cheeseburger down, put the cheese sticks down. It's good to have every once in a while, but if you are like me and you are a big fast food eater, that's going to be your biggest downfall. You could have the best technique, you could be the best dancer, you could be a great dancer. The difference between you getting a part and you getting into an audition is body shape. And it's hard to hear, it's hard to say. You have to make sure that you are the right shape for whatever you are auditioning for whatever you're dancing for. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying stop eating. I'm not. I'm saying make sure that you are eating. Just put down the cheeseburger. Put down the bad foods for you. Don't go a full carb diet. I mean, really, stop eating so much bread. Even just cutting out soda, it can make a world of difference. You want to make sure that you're drinking a lot of water. I mean, you can have iced tea. It's not that bad. I mean, just the sugars in the iced tea you have to watch out for. But really, depending on what you're going for, yes, people love to have a body. They love curves and swerves all day. But if you're going to be a ballerina, you have to make sure that you're eating for that correct part. You have to make sure you're having a healthy diet. Even if you are going for a jazz position like Fosse, they don't mind too many curves. But really, you just have to make sure that, because they're not going to adjust costumes to fit you. They really won't. And that's what I learned. They are not going to adjust costumes to fit you. You have to adjust yourself to fit the costume. Also, you want to make sure that you keep working. If you ever have those days that you're like, I just need a week off. No, even if you need a week off, just keep working. Even if it's just a stretch or to do a couple of plies a day. Never stop working, never stop stretching. Never, never, never. And I can't stress this enough. Never doubt yourself. Really, it's makes a world of difference between um, just working as a professional dancer or just being what a dancer used to be. Um, I can't say this enough. Um, and really, that's kind of my open letter to dancers. Um, Now, I'm not, if this offends anybody, I'm not saying to be anorexic. I'm not saying being lazy. If you're not getting the parts, then it's fine. If you're not getting a part that you really, really want, move on, keep working. Maybe next time, maybe they weren't looking for somebody with brown hair. Maybe they weren't looking for somebody blonde. Maybe they weren't looking for somebody with high kicks. Maybe they were looking for a turner. You also have to remember that when people are getting auditions, you really have to remember that they have a specific image in their head. Sometimes you can change that if you are just excellent, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes they're looking for just boys only, but they have to do an open call as kind of a protocol. Anyway, thank you for listening, guys. That is my open letter to dancers. Really keep working, and please take this advice to heart. I wish that I would have taken some advice, because really I am looking back now and I'm saying, if I would have taken chances and if I would have not been afraid to listen to myself instead of listening to comments being made or being afraid of what people were judging me for. You have to remember, people aren't paying your bills. You're paying your bills. People aren't going to put you into the center spot. You're going to put yourself into the center spot. Really, just keep thinking about yourself. Think what's good for yourself. All right, guys? I love you. Thank you for listening. Come back and watch another video. I'll try to post every week. So far, I've been doing very well. Tomorrow is another month, and we made it through the first one. Woohoo! All right, thank you guys. Bye.